Hello YouTube, this is another top 10 list. It's another Disney one, it's my top 10 favourite characters. This was actually filmed a few times. Unfortunately some of the other videos that I filmed there did not work out, they didn't play when I tried recording them. So that's why we are here. And again, spoilers alert, this is just my opinion. Pretty much the same stuff as last time warning wise. Not much else to say, I'm not going to bore you. Let's move on to number 10.
I mustn't overreact. I must remain calm. I tried to stop us. She wouldn't listen. I told her to stay away from humans. They are bad. They are trouble.
Little Mermaid was actually one of my favourite Disney films growing up. I don't know what it was. I think just out of all of them, it just appealed to me the most. If you've watched my last Disney video, you will know she up here on that video. It's because over time I developed ones I like more. Number 1, I think I mentioned I did not actually see till I was 15. So there you are. That if you wonder what overtook The Little Mermaid, you need to watch the video. So back to this one, Sebastian. I watched The Little Mermaid recently, and I just thought, how did I not like his character before? Because before I found him so annoying, I couldn't stand him. But when you watch it again, especially that video I put up there, you know, the one, the clip where he has a bit of a meltdown, and it's just, I love it. It's like he goes, I'm gonna stay calm. He's actually going, I'm not going to have a breakdown. He has a breakdown. It's so ironic. I think what's funny is, although he's all loyal to King Triton and he's what's the word, trying to keep Ariel in check, I think secretly he's sort of rooting for her. I can't help thinking. And I think at the end of the day he doesn't want to get in trouble with King Triton, which you wouldn't considering who he is. But he is a good character, he is very funny. But he is like he's almost like a grumpy character, you know. You find them irritating, but you like them at the same time. I think also what appeals to me about him is his song Under the Sea. It's very good, it's very lively. It's very good. But I think is the irony at the end, because he's singing this whole song, you know, to try and encourage her to stay under the sea. She doesn't, so she goes off anyway. And that's I think when he has his breakdown with King Triton. But what's nice is at the very end he does root for her. That song, Kiss the Girl, it's because he's trying to get Prince Eric to kiss her so that she'll have her happy ever after, which she does have. So he's not, even though he seems like a bit of an antagonist, he's not really. So that's pretty much all I can say about Sebastian. Let's move on to number 9.
News for you reptiles, and it looks like it's gonna be a perfect day to maybe, hey, just lie in bed, sleep in, or simply work out that slab that's hanging over the bed! What's this? Wazowski! That darn paperwork. Wouldn't it be easier if it all just blew away?
I think we can all agree it's nearly impossible to not love Mike Wazowski. It's his attitude, he's like, for a little guy, he's such a big attitude. And also, I suppose in a way it helps to keep Sully in check. But he's a good character, and to an extent I could actually relate to him. If you watch Monsters University, he would give up a social event just to study and get good grades, which, being a university student myself, is something that I would do. I remember watching the trailer for Monsters Inc. and instantly thinking how much I love Mikey, so it shows you the connection in a way. I know my sister watched and she loves Sully and I was like, no. But we kind of similar, me and her, like you will have heard her in a previous video. She's like we're both dreamers, but I think, yeah, she can be a bit more social than I can. Like I'm way more introverted than she is. But what I used to say was like, Mikey was like a one-eyed pea with a huge attitude, and that's what I love about him. I think at the end of the day though, he does warm as a character, and I think even if you don't like him at first, he grows on you. Like you can never hate him. He's such a he's a wee cute character as well. But there's not really much I can say about Mikey, to be honest with you, because I haven't actually seen Monsters Inc. for a long time. So without any further ado, let's move on to number 8. Number 8, this video is quite funny, I think.
Guess where I am right now? Uh-huh. In the bag. Still think I'm not the victim here? Watch. It gets better. Oh, he's doing his own theme music?
Gronk, Emperor's New Groove. Technically a villain, but I think he's too good-natured to be a villain. I just want to point out I should have pointed out there are no villains in this video. That's for another video. I am doing one, it'll probably be next week on my top 10 favourite Disney villains. what's so funny about Kronk is even his villain, he feels at it. Like, he's a good nature, he's hilarious, and he's a bit dim. Like, I don't think I showed you it in the clip there. When you first see him, like, a fly buzzing around, it lands on his forehead. And I'll say your instinct is hit the fly. But he takes it too far, he face palms. And he's on like this really high platform. He ends up, he ends up falling off the platform. He's that dim, I just love him, and he's so funny. And he does have his own sequel, it's called Crunchy Groove, and he actually finds a girlfriend and all of that. Personally, I didn't really like it, I found it a wee bit boring. But it's an okay sequel, like, I'm not saying I would recommend it, but it is a good sequel if you want to watch it. But I think he does provide a lot of comedy, and even if you're watching an intense scene, you still find him really funny. And he actually in a way ends up saving the day at the end, which is even nicer. Again, I haven't seen the Pushing Groove for a while. It is on Netflix, which I'm very happy about. I'm definitely going to watch it again. This next one, I don't think I'm just looking at it here. It's not on Netflix, but I think we can all agree it's a Disney classic. Here it is, number 7.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command. Star Command, come in. Do you read me? Why don't they answer?
Most people would watch Toy Story and think of Woody as their favourite character, understandably, he's the main one. For me it was always Buzz Lightyear. I don't know what it was, I'm not normally into that sort of character, but I just really, I think I find Woody a bit weedy, to be honest, and Buzz Lightyear, I was just like, I love you, you're awesome. He's a really good, I think even though you watched in the first film he's a bit cocky, he's a bit big-headed, as a character he warms, you know. Sorry, I'm having to hold my iPad, so you may notice the camera may shake a wee bit, just as a warning. But he is a great character, and I think even one of my favourite ones is Toy Story 3, where he has a Spanish part, and all he does is speak Spanish. I just think it's like there is quite an intense part, I think, where he's doing something, but because he's doing it in Spanish, it just makes it that much funnier. And I think in a way he's your typical superhero, but because he's a toy in a way it makes it better. But I think what's interesting is, and I watched this on a programme where someone said it, if he's a toy, but he doesn't know he's a toy, why does he not come to life when the humans are around? That's an interesting theory for you. Toy Story is not actually my favourite film of all time. It is good, but I think we can all agree it's definitely a Disney classic. There is a Toy Story 4 coming out, I don't know when, I think it's 2 years from now, I think it is. There'll probably be a confirmation like later on or something. But yeah, that's a very brief reason why I love Buzz Lightyear. These are never very long explanations, and I don't want to make the video as long as the first one was. So without any further ado, let's move on to number 6.
Yeah! Fist bump!
Fist bump is not in my fighting database.
No, this isn't a fighting thing. It's what people do sometimes when they're excited or pumped up.
For those of you who haven't seen Big Hero 6, I would not watch this part of the video because it will contain a lot of spoilers. Baymax, a lovable robot turned superhero. I have to admit, I watched it and I just thought, I want my own Baymax. He's so cute. And me and my sister actually, if we are excited about something, we actually do the thing, but instead of going, we go fa la 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 la, just because we just think it's that much funnier. Big Hero 6 turned out to be so much funnier than I expected it to be. I didn't know. I like the idea. My sister said it's the boys' idea of Frozen, and I've never seen Frozen. I have no interest in it. I think it's overrated. Thumbs up if you think the same. But we went in, and I just thought, oh crumbs, sorry. I just thought, I'm in love with Baymax. I want a Baymax. And I don't even know what it is. He's such a lovely character. There was one point where, in a way, he temporarily turns evil. And I remember just thinking, whoa, it was such a difference. But I just love how he'd be good. I just love how he would say, are you satisfied with your care and all? But I think my two favourite bits was I meant to put one of the clips on here, actually, and I didn't. Apart from the fa la 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 one, is when he goes, diagnosis, puberty, and then he starts talking about puberty. I'll not go into it because I don't want to spoil it too much for you. This video contains spoilers, but hopefully not so many that you get put off watching it. I think you do need to watch it to understand it. I actually have some people, I know some Big Hero 6 haters. My parents watched it, but my dad fell asleep and my mum said it was stupid because she couldn't understand it. Don't put hate comments, I love Big Hero 6, so don't hate me for that. This now, we're going to move on quite quickly now to the next one. This one is a very old Disney film, it's one of the older ones, but I'll just give you a little clue. It has 7 little men and there was one that just stood out for me as my favourite. Here it is.
Oh, you must be grumpy.
Yeah.
Now I'm warning you. Don't let nobody or nothing in the
It's
house.
probably pretty obvious when I said 7 little men, but Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, and my favourite dwarf is Grumpy. One of the other dwarfs is an honourable mention, so I'll not mention him here, but I'll put it in the honourable mentions, I'll flash him up. I just think Grumpy, even though, I don't know what it is, even though he sort of is very realistic and he's like, you know, he hits on the others a little bit, I just think he's hilarious, and that must be what it is. It's like when he sticks his tongue out at Snow and just walks off, he actually opens the door and gets his nose stuck, which is a very funny thing. But I think what's lovely at the end is he is crying when he finds her dead, so he's a good character really. But yeah, I've just been called down. I'm going to get in trouble if I film anymore, I think. So don't worry, the rest of the video, there is still loads more of the video. This is actually the last bit I filmed, but I'm going to go downstairs now. Well, in the meantime, I'll let you watch the next one.
He should be here in, I'd say half an hour.
Who? Who? I'd like to know who.
I told you, Archimedes, I am not sure.
And where would you guess he is at this very moment?
I am not guessing, Archimedes, I
Number
know.
6, I meant number 3. Didn't I? No, I meant number 4, that's really embarrassing. It's Archimedes from The Sword and the Stone. Hilarious. And he's, again, your typical grumpy character who, you know, I can't even explain that. Where like they're off, there's like a scene, for example, Merlin says, "Did you actually try to save Arthur?" And Archimedes like, No, I tried to eat him, I was hungry. And I'm just like, sure, Archimedes, sure. But he does change and he becomes a nicer person, I think. But it's funny, his grumpiness compared with Merlin's like wittiness is, the contrast is so beautifully done, like it's so perfect. I really don't know what to say about Archimedes, and that's the honest truth. He is hilarious, like, but I think at the end of the day, you'd want them as your companion. Like, I think one of my favourite bits is when Arthur says, "What a magnificent stuffed owl," and Archimedes like, stuffed owl, how very dare you, like, he's hilarious. But in the end, yeah, he becomes friends with Arthur, he actually educates him, teaches him how to read and write, even though it doesn't go very well, again you need to watch the film. But for a grumpy character, he is one of those good ones. I must admit, after this explanation, it was probably rubbish and you probably don't agree he deserves to play in this list. I'm not very good at explaining things, but we should have established that by now. But anyway, let's move on to number 3. This one you will have seen before, and I think you might disagree with me, that's number 3 personally. I'm just going to say the top 3 and 2 were difficult. Number 1 was easy, but 3 and 2 were difficult, so you're about to see, I think you'll agree why this is number 3.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Hang on a second. Whoa! Wow! Does it feel good to be out of there? I'm telling you, nice to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, where are you from? What's your name?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Hello, Aladdin. Nice to have you on the show. Can we call you Al, or maybe just Dick?
Personally, I think one of Robin Williams' best performances as the genie in Aladdin. Little fun fact, I think he was only offered half the amount he should have got or something for paying the genie, I don't remember. But he accepted a lower offer of payment because he wanted to leave something for the kids. And I think that's lovely, and he is definitely, for me, the genie's definitely one of the best Disney characters out there. Because he combines so much. He's a good character, he's heroic, he's loyal. But he's also, it's like the references you get, he appeals to children and to adults. Because you've got obviously the comedy, you know, the typical kids comedy. But then you've got like the references I can't name any because I'm not that old. That he does, I'm just trying to think of any that I can name. No, but he does like impressions of, I suppose they're real people, I don't really know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not that old. but that would appeal to adults, you know, because they would see the humour in that. Even as a kid though, I used to watch it and I used to find those funny. So yeah, and I think, I don't know, it's so dramatic, like, and then his song "Friend Like Me," again, really dramatic, but I suppose it's what I like about it at the start. He goes, you know, I don't think you he goes, Master, I don't think you realise what you've got here. And he's pretty much saying, look, this is the power I have, this is what I can do for you. And it made me think, oh my goodness, I want to find a magic lamp, I want my own genie. Kind of want one like him, because he was awesome. But I remember at the time, I didn't know who Robin Williams was. Like, I'd seen him plenty of times, but I didn't have a clue who he was. And now that I look back and I realise that all of those voices that the genie does was the same person, I can't even, it's just incredible. Like, how can one person do so many, the word's gone, such a big variety of voices? It's such talent, like, and it's, I think we'll all miss him at the end of the day, but this is one of the ones that I think make you appreciate the talent that Robin Williams had. He was he's an amazing person. Like, there is a couple of sequels to Aladdin. There's The Return of Jafar, which I've never seen, but I do want to, and then there's Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Personally, again, sequels aren't great, but personally I thought the Aladdin and the King of Thieves was very good. My favourite part of it is when the palace is collapsing and the genie goes up and he puts himself against the thing, you know, to try and protect leaks. And he comes down at one point and the whole place is collapsing. He just goes, you know, like, his eyes just start running. He just goes, this is not my fault, this is not. Sometimes I'm just like, that's the most random thing to say, but it just works, you know. It's something about, there's some things he'll say that just seem random, but they work. They just, I think he pulls some comments off that other characters couldn't. But like I say, yes, he is only number 3. Number 2, now that I'm looking back, maybe should have been number 3. But like I said, it was difficult. You may, like I say, you don't have to agree with me on these videos. Let's see what number 2 is. Character from, I think it was number 3 of my top 10 favourite Disney films, Mulan. I actually only saw this film for the first time recently. It was a couple of months, it was last year actually. It was just when I just got my uni house sorted and I thought I'm going to get the DVD and I watched it. There's a little random fact for you. But I love her and I think I love her songs. Like, okay, she doesn't sing that much, but like Reflection's a beautiful song. Or I think when I realised that her father was called to war, but she dresses up as a man to do it for him because she thought he's going to die if he goes. And she risks essentially getting killed herself because not only could she die in battle, but if they found out she was a girl, they would kill her. And I just think that's amazing. And she risked so much, she made so many sacrifices. There is another character from Mulan actually, is in the honourable mentions. Personally, some people I think would say he should have been on the list. You may, I don't know. Personally, like I said, this is just my opinion. At the end of the day, it's up to you whether you agree or disagree. But I think Mulan, she's not really one of those typical Disney princesses. Like, she's not one who gets her man to save her. She actually saves them, which is so ironic. But it's so good. That's what I like about Disney. They will occasionally do something a little bit different, but I was going to say a little bit quirky. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but you know. And then she's got her companion. I think it's the way she's in, the male some of it's them, apart from the leader, obviously. And she's like the smart one, someone would say like the women outwit the men. But that's what I think what I could remember is like she sacrificed so much to save her family. She almost defined she died, I was trying to say, the gender stereotype. Her role was to marry, to have children. She went out and fought a war and she saved not only her family but the whole of China. That's incredible, you know, and that's now that I realise that's why I put her as number 2 and that's why she beat the genius. As always, I'm not going to show you number 1 right away, I'll give you a clue. For me, number 1 was easy. You may disagree, but I think when you watch the clip, you'll understand why I put it at number 1. Anyway, if you remember the first video, you might recognise number 1. There it is. Well, here's the clue anyway. Right, once again, I'm not going to reveal number 1 right away. I'm going to leave a little clue. I must admit, number 1 will probably not surprise you if you've seen the video before, but I'm not giving any more clues than that. Here's the clue. Make sure to comment and tell me what you think it is.
And Frollo gave the child a cruel name, a name that means half-formed.
Before we move on to number 1, as always, go flash up on the screen at the bottom, just a few suppose you could call them honourable mentions. They just didn't quite make the cut. Right, let's move on to reveal number 1. I just want to point out also, in my opinion, maybe many others, this is one of the most epic moments in Disney history. Here it is.
Quasimodo!
Last video, you should not be surprised by this number 1. It's Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I love this film, and I can't put any characters above Quasimodo. I think if you watch that scene there, and I have to admit, please like if you too think it's the most epic moment in Disney history. It's when, I think the name of it is when he shouts Sanctuary. Like he was chained in the bell tower. It took me ages to edit that clip actually, so that I could, get it to the bit I wanted. But he is chained on the bells, or he pulls on those chains. His strength is so great from the ringing of the bells. He brings down like 2 or 3 pillars. He swings down a rope, saves Esmeralda, who's been burned alive, in front of Frollo, in front of the whole of Paris essentially, because I'm assuming every single person is there. He goes back up onto the bell tower and shouts Sanctuary so that she'll be safe and the soldiers can't get at her. I just think that's incredible, because think of how people treated him, if you've seen the film obviously you'll know what I'm talking about. But I think what's even more brilliant is that people cheer for him. But yeah, he's definitely one of my favourite characters. Like I think I mentioned before, he does feature in my stories, in my novels I should say, quite a lot. I do have a couple of published things. I know I've gone off on a tangent, but so I'll say I have 2 poems published and 1 short story for competitions. If you want a video on those, I will do it, because I think I've got them somewhere. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just looked over behind my iPad there in my bookcase. I can see 3 books there where they are. And if you do want a video on that, that could be an intro to my creative writing tips, which I only do on request. So any new subscribers, if you want the creative writing tips. I may do a drawing one, because I do a little bit of drawing, but my talent in art's not great, honestly. Like, I did it to quite a high level, but creative writing's more my forte, I would say. But anyway, back to Quasimodo. I think, what's the reason I would choose him? Well, I suppose it's pretty obvious after all, because he's overcome so much prejudice, and he essentially saves the whole of Paris from Frollo. Like, I think there's a scene, it's after he saves Esmeralda. Frollo has taught him all these years to stay in the bell tower, only listen to him, he's the only one he can trust, blah blah blah. And Quasimodo goes, now you listen, all my life you've taught me the world is a dark and cruel place. Now I know the only dark and cruel thing about this world are people like you. I don't think that's a direct quote, because I don't think I got that right. That's the gist of it. But that's one of the reasons I like him so much, and I do think he is one of those characters you always root for. I think I did watch a few real life films of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I would say nowhere near as epic as the Disney one, that's the honest truth. There was one where he died at the end, and there was one where Esmeralda died at the end. To be fair, the second one, the latter I just mentioned there, is actually more relevant to the book than the one where he dies, because he doesn't die in the book. He does die in the book, I can't remember. But anyways, that's not the point. But I would say he has to be one of my favourite Disney characters of all time, just because of the stuff he overcomes. Most people overcome villains or, an evil stepmother, as in Cinderella. He overcomes a whole city. Like, it's not just the villains, not just Frollo. He overcomes a general opinion, of what he is. And I think that's just incredible. I don't know if I could do what he ever did. Like, I was bullied for years for having red hair. I've been called a witch. I think I was called a demon at one point, was I? Yeah, I might have been. Yeah, I was called, and people said to me, you'll never meet anyone, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into that again. But the fact that he overcomes that, and even though in the sequel, which I refuse to mention, he continues to live in the bell tower, but he integrates in society. Society accepts him. They wouldn't have done it if he hadn't done something about it, because Frollo was never going to do anything. So I don't think there's any question why he has to go to the top of my list. There's no question why he's my favourite character. You may have a different favourite, so that's your choice, but I'm not going to accept any criticism as to why to put him at the top, because you can't argue it. So there you have it, that was my top 10 favourite Disney characters. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I've noticed in about the last week, I've gained about 3 subscribers. Welcome to the channel, guys, if you're watching this, I hope you are. What made you join? I'd like to hear your comments, like what was it interested you? And what videos would you like to see, because I'm always taking suggestions. Very few of you have made them, apart from one, just want to point that out. Shout out to Kimberly, who made the suggestion for Mrs. Luffet. There will be a couple of cosplays soon, hopefully. I've got 3 more Disney videos planned, and then I'm thinking of maybe doing a Game of Thrones one. I don't know, like I said, always open to suggestions. But yeah, well, I hope I'll get a few more subscribers along the way, but at the end of the day, number doesn't matter. The ones who are there are loyal and they're watching, they're enjoying the videos. That's all that matters to me. As always, please like, subscribe, favourite, share if you want, whatever it is you do on YouTube. And I'll see you. I'll probably do another one this week, since this one was very late. So you'll hopefully get 2 this week. So I'll see you next time for the next video. Bye guys!